Afternoon, everybody. How are we all doing? Afternoon, Diamond. Round two, ding ding. Here we go. Just watching the DAX. We're just at pretty key point on the DAX down here. This is yesterday's low. I took a little short on this afternoon. This morning even. Yeah, so we're at a pretty key point here on the DAX. This double bottom, yesterday's low. So I'm watching this. We're 8 minutes away from the New York Open at a key level. So if we get a push down on the DAX and then a push back up again, we get a load of limits triggering here, we might see a bit of a rally off of that. So it's worth watching the DAX. Obviously the NASDAQ I'm going to be trading and concentrating on the Dow as well. But worth a watch. Dow, actually, I'm going to pop over there because I might trade the Dow as well this afternoon. But we'll see. Afternoon, David. You're talking about the pound Swiss, yeah. So yeah, pound Swiss. Someone's asked in the Telegram group about buy on the pound Swiss. It is extended. We're at a double bottom. It's extended on the 4-hour RSI. So this move is huge. Look at the size of this thing. We haven't had a profit take move on this yet. So I think there is a good chance of a bounce here. I would rather be selling it though. I don't want to buy the pound at the moment. It's very, very weak. The Swiss franc has had a bit of weakness, but if you look at the pound pairs today, they're fairly weak, apart from pound US. So you kind of technically, yeah, it's a lovely buy, but ask yourself what happens if that fails, that level. You know, there's a long way to go until you get to any kind of real support. There is another level here that could potentially act as a support, which is at 150 ADR roughly. That's this level here. We've reacted a couple of times there. So yeah, I mean, it's a good buy technically, very nicely extended. But look at what happened. Yeah, when we got extended, we got massively extended down to 15 here. All we got was that. So I don't know. If you like it, take it. What could go wrong? It could go against you and you've got to scale into it. Cool. Right, so ADRs today. There's a few ADRs to look at. What's the time? 5 minutes we got. Afternoon, Frank, if I haven't said Frank already. Afternoon even, if I haven't said Frank already. So Aussie dollar Swiss, these are all ADRs. So Aussie dollar Swiss popped straight up into ADR, came off of ADR and has tanked very nicely. Aussie dollar New Zealand dollar is still up there. Euro odd has come off of ADR. Nice reverse alert, retest, pushed up into propulsion. Euro yen, that's just hit ADR if you fancy longing in the yen, longing against the yen. Pound odd, it's come off of ADR as well. Pound Swiss, that is down at ADR. Again, perfect. We haven't had a reversal alert on M5, so if you like this Pound Swiss, because it's 4-hour extended, you know, take it. Wait for a reversal alert and get in. It's massively extended on the hourly as well. But, you know, look how it struggled. RSI extension, sideways. Yeah, as RSI was pushing up, price was pushing down, divergence. Yeah, extended again here, pushed down, extended again here, sideways, extended, sideways, extended, nowhere to go, down, extended. You know, this thing's just not bouncing. The pound is so weak, and we got a decent movement on the Swiss franc at the moment. So there is the reversal alert. obviously there's so many targets up here to aim for. It's going to pull back at some point, but I don't know. I just don't want to long the pound. So pound yen also extended. Nice W pattern formation at the lows there. Haven't got the reverse alert yet. And New Zealand yen extended to the downside. So a few ADR reversal opportunities there. Tons and tons of pound. It's all pound and all euro extended to the downside. So all these euros I like as long opportunities. Euro CAD, Euro Swiss, Euro US dollar. I like all these as longs. Euro US dollar not quite as much, but Euro CAD, Euro Swiss I like as a long. So there's quite a few opportunities out there. Just going to watch the NAS. Got 3 minutes to the open. I've had the sentiment EA running today. Doing pretty well. Aussie dollar, US dollar. So that entry there. Don't need that quite so big, do we? So there's yesterday's high. There's the entry there. I took that one. Well, it took that one there. Sideways. It's coming down very nicely. Was over 70 when I got in, or when it got in. Aussie dollar, Swiss. Again, lots of entries. Yesterday's high. Swept it multiple times. Any one of those entries would have been an entry, obviously, and that's come down nicely. 79% of the market is long. Short it. So yeah, it's working well. I was taking a few stupid trades this morning because I had it set up wrong. Found another bug, funnily enough, which I fixed. But so yeah, it's just waiting to get into more positions now. Right, New Zealand dollar Swiss has just hit ADR as well. Totally mixed sentiment on that, so could go either way, that one. Right, afternoon, David. Other David. Multiple Davids. Okay, DAX has just broken the lows. So that's the bounce. Morning, Brian. Afternoon, even, whatever. There's the bounce potential. So there's a long opportunity there on the DAX if you want to take it. Technical double bottom. So when this candle's closed, up to you, pending order above the high, or wait for some confirmation. Nasdaq's on. I'm long Nasdaq. That was a quick one. Volatile open today. Again, trading the pre-market 15-minute opening range. Looking for that quick pop, quick buck. Put the Dow over here for a minute. Afternoon, Bogdan. Not able to get higher on the Nasdaq at the moment. So probably going to stop out and go short. So stopped out, gone short. Hopefully it's not a whipsaw. Looks like it is though, because the Dow is not interested in shorting. So this double-ended stop hunt by the looks of things. Possibly, we'll see. Yeah, double-ended stop hunt. Stopped out both. $800 loss. Never mind. So we'll see if that resets. Getting some second opportunity on it. So basically, if that goes now, I'll I'll have to take profit. I'll have to take TP on both positions just to get that loss back. Cool, that's a whippy old open today. Let's have a quick look at what we've got earnings-wise. What's the date? 7th. So we had Activision, Pinterest. Yeah, good. Pinterest made a loss. And Take Two. We've got Gilead, Lumina. So there's not a lot this week, news-wise. Dow is pushing higher. I'm just going to move that over there. So opening range at the moment is 800. Big on the Dow. Blimey. Doesn't know where it wants to go today, does it? DAX is coming off the lows quite nicely. We've got ECB talking at the moment. ECB, more significant rate hikes are needed, yeah. The Fed's come out this morning as well and said they might need more sustained rate hikes as well. A little bit more bullish US dollar. Okay, we've got 1 minute to go, which looks like we're trying to close back inside this range, which would be nice because it gives me a second attempt at the breakout. I think that's the first time in the last week I've been whipsawed at the open. Every other open so far, we've just kind of gone, haven't we? So either got a break even or a nice profit out of it. So that's not bad. So there's 5 minute on the Dow going in bullish. NASDAQ also bullish. Got 30 seconds left on the candle. Looks like we are closing inside. Really can't get a move today, can it? So it's about 300 point opening range, 30 point rather, and about 90 on the Dow. Okay, reset. So let's see if we can get a break now. I'm short NASDAQ. Jeez, this thing's whippy today, isn't it? Wow. Dow's pushing higher. Trying to. So it's trying to get new highs on the Dow. NASDAQ's out the lows now. Come on, Dow, drop. Don't like the look of this. I'm just going to reduce my risk a little bit on this NASDAQ. I don't like the price action. The Dow's holding up at the moment. Mind you, it's tricky. Come on, Dow, get down. There we go. Right. Hopefully we can get some traction on the NASDAQ now. Blimey. Whipsaws. Just reducing risk on this. Don't like the price action. It's can't get anywhere, can it? There's no point in taking a full loss on this. Might as well just take a reduced loss. Dow's pushing. Okay, long on NASDAQ. I'm going to go long on a break on the Dow as well, on that 5 minute. Oh, what a whippy session. Okay, long on the Dow. Oh, come on, NASDAQ. Make your mind up. Jeez. Now we've got 1 minute left on this candle. We're just basically putting an outside bar, so there's absolutely no directional bias established just yet. Dow is looking slightly more bullish, but we can't get a break or a hold in, can we? Nasty. I'm just getting ready to close some of this out. It's not looking good at all. Don't like it. There we go. Dow, come on. Make your mind up. This NASDAQ can't get higher. The Dow is struggling as well. There's just there's no directional bias at the moment. I think we might need to wait for a bit more of an opening range to be put in, maybe a 15-minute range. Oh, there we go. Now NASDAQ's up. So break even, no risk on the NASDAQ. Dow's pulling back a little bit. So we've got this big propulsion gap that we're tapping into now. So we've obviously got selling pressure sitting here. So we need to crack that. If we can crack through that area, we can rally up to 12,516 area. If not, I'll just stop out, break even on it. Whippy nasty session, isn't it? We have had a real treat over the last few days, though. They've literally gone out the gates. Easy money, isn't it, for the last few days? So it's about time they took a bit of it back, I guess. Stopped out, break even. Going to flip short again, potentially on the NAS. Wow, what a whippy one today. Nothing wrong with my stops. I got a 20-point break even on and a 20-point trailer. So I'd say that's probably about the right size for today, but just whippy, isn't it? So the Dow's just come up into these highs. get ready to close this out. This is just awful, horrible price action. So just watching that range of that candle there, just to see if we are going to close out the lows. Look at this thing. Pick a direction already. I'm going to add to the Dow. Nasdaq's going. So we just pulled back, made a higher low. So looking for the Dow to break out, make a new high. So I'm going to add one and see if we can get a rally with the Nasdaq on the way up to there. Not convincing though, is it? What is something that would assist in avoiding these types of choppy sessions? You can't. Well, I don't know. You can't. A choppy session is a choppy session. You can't use. You could use a minimum or a maximum opening range, yeah. But then, you know, this price action is a stop run, yeah. So it doesn't matter what you use, does it? What this candle here has done has taken all the liquidity from the low and the high of that candle. So it doesn't matter how big that candle is. The job today was to whipsaw and to take all the liquidity at the highs and the lows to build a position to drive it long. It doesn't matter what you choose. If they want to whip it, they'll whip it. This is, if you're looking at this on a futures market now, you would call that the value area high and the value area low. And that's where you add to positions to trade back into the mean. That's all they're doing. You can't avoid it. If the range was wider, all that would happen is they would push wider on the second candle. So can't do anything. Yeah, if as Jarman's just said, you can't avoid them, but you can always reduce your risk if you don't like the size of the open. So I'm also trading the 15-minute ORB here, which is that candle there and that candle there. So that's your 5, 10, 15 range in. So I'm trading that long and short as well. Still long on the DAX, on the Dow rather, but the Dow is put in an inside bar. So Nasdaq is put in a higher high and a higher low. The Dow has put in an inside bar. Total confusion at the minute. I have a set of rules for trading the open. Rule 1 is take the entry. If you're not in the trade, nothing else matters. It's totally true. It doesn't matter which what you set, David, at the open. They will do what they will do. The edge of the opening range breakout strategy is that more often than not, we get the run. That's it. That's the edge. It's as simple as that. Some days you will get whipped. Some days you will lose. Other days, like for the last 3 days, I've made what, $2,500 out of this. You know, it's you just have to get in. just kind of realized that these tighter opening ranges tend to be somewhat choppy. Some days they are choppy, some days they're not. Again, there is no consistency. If you set a wider opening range, there's nothing to stop them running the wider opening range. But you could set a maximum opening range on it, definitely. But what do you set it to? You can backtest something, but what will happen, I reckon, well, I'm pretty sure what will happen is, let's say, for example, that opening range there today, which was 15 points. If you set your maximum to 25, for example, say roughly the size of that candle, 30 odd points, yeah, and it didn't take that today, what would you be, how would you feel now if it went like that? Bang, 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 and it did a 10R return in 5 candles. You'd be gutted. Oh, I wish I'd have taken the 15 pointer, but you set it to 25. And the next day you set it to 25 and it goes whip, 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 bang. Oh, wish I'd have set it to 30. There's no answer. There is no answer. It is literally a some you win, some you lose scenario. Can't do anything with it, unfortunately. Trust me, I've backtested over 200,000 variations. They all make money. Just some days you'll lose, some days you win. You can't pick the one that you need for the day. If I had a time machine that went forward 15 minutes, I'd know exactly what to do. Yeah, EA does its job. You just can't. You can't tell which set file you need each day. So you've got to pick one. The days where the 5 minute is amazing and the 15 isn't are the days you wish you'd done the 5. The days where the 5 whipsaws are the days you wish you'd done the 15. The days where it goes out like this morning, yeah, the DAX this morning, 15-minute opening range break. The days you're trading the 15-minute, right? Look what happened today. If you were trading the 15-minute opening range break today, you didn't even get in. You've just got in short all morning. You haven't even got an entry. The days when you're trading the 15-minute and it does that, you wish you'd been on the pre-15. You know, there's no right or wrong. You can't pick one. It just doesn't work. You just got to pick one and hope. Today's just nasty, whippy one. Evans, would I explain the wide range bar concept? It's covered in the bootcamp. If you go onto the website, I'm just about to get in long on the NASDAQ. So this wide range bar is holding at the moment. Sellers are defending, but if they run out, we'll pop out the top. What the hell? What the hell happened there? Why did the 15 close? What? This magic number thing is doing my head in. Why is this doing this? I don't get this. I really don't get it. Why is it using magic number 792 to enter a trade on magic number 789? Sorry, don't get you, MT4. You're broken. Why has it done that? Logic. I'm quite happy it has, but I don't get why. Oh, I'll have to look at this later. I don't understand why that is closed that trade out. Buy stop 792. There isn't a magic number 792. I've got a conflict in here somewhere. I really don't understand where it is. Just going to delete these glarables. I don't know why. That's weird. Anyway, so your 15-minute opening range, you are long. I'm not, for some unknown reason. I need to put some logging in the EA to figure out why that's closing. At price 0.0. What? Weird. Long second one on the Dow. I'll have a look at that later. I have no idea why that's doing that. I don't even understand why it's putting different magic numbers in. Because I have got no code in there that says to use anything but magic number that I've asked you to. Weird. Anyway, worry about that later. Naz is like riding a bull after someone kicked it in the groin. Yeah, it's not good this morning. Yeah, MT4 is definitely dyslexic. Any chance it's running on another chart on a different magic number? Yeah, it is. It's running on here on a different magic number. 456. But that's running on the... Well, it's not running because it's told not to trade. It's just not running. There's nothing in here at all. It's just not, I don't know. I have no idea. There's some weird conflict between these two for some reason. Dow is suffering because the Nasdaq's pulling back. So yeah, Evans, about the wide range bar. Yeah, I mean, go to the website before I was so rudely interrupted by my EA going nuts, and go to day 3, and it's covered in there. The actual indicator. Here you go. This is talking about it right now. It's about 2 hours, 1 hour 30 into it. By the looks of things. RSI, backtesting, market condition, historical examples, trend. I don't know. Someone's marked this up with something. In the bootcamp, it's called the 1, 2, 3 gap. Wide range bar, 1, 2, 3 gap. It's the same thing. It's the same principle, same indicator. This market is dyslexic this morning. Look at this state of this thing. Look at these wicks. This thing's just all over the place. Stay out of the NAS. I'm turning it off. Whoops. I'm not trading the NASDAQ today. That thing's a total lunatic. I'm going to stick on the Dow. Oh my God, I've got my stops way too tight on this. There we go. I only use a 200-point trailer. That's way too tight. 600. 60 points. I should imagine most people are getting absolutely destroyed at the minute. What a mess. But basically the idea behind wide range bars, just to quickly explain it, is this is where a propulsion move starts So an institution or a bank starts a move, and all that does is identifies where that move was. So if price comes back and retests that area, exactly like we saw there, you tend to find the sellers jump on board either with the original move or adding to the original move. We got a new low on the NAS. It's unable to hold these lows though. So for the last 15 minutes, every time it's pushed down, it's failed to hold the low and close low. If this closes anywhere like there or higher, I quite fancy this Dow having an explosive move, because I think the Nasdaq's just going to springboard up. We'll see if we get this actually managing to close, i.e. the bears being in control. At the moment, they can't get a hold down here. Look, tried, failed, tried, failed, tried, failed. But also the bulls can't get hold either. So it's just a bit schizophrenic at the minute. Well, that's turned my nice 0.5% morning into a 0.5% loss, isn't it? Afternoon, Warren. Anybody get on the DAX? If you did, you're doing well. DAX is the only thing that's, well, and that's not even moving very nicely, is it? Look at the state of it. It's all just a mess. Oh my God. Okay, Nasdaq's pushing out the lows and just getting ready to close this Dow. So we've got 1 minute left on this candle. Nasdaq looks like it's in charge at the minute. "30 seconds. I'm just going to reduce stops on this Dow, just below that candle. I want to see this Nasdaq quickly flip all the way up to there. You watch. Fooled you. No. Okay, so it looks like we've got a bear move starting. Trying to anyway. We still haven't managed to get out of the lows though. So this is the pre-market low. We still haven't managed to crack that. So if we manage to get out of the lows here, I suspect we're going to get a push down on the Dow. But if we don't, I'm going to go another long on the Dow. It's going to keep pressing this upside all the time that this is resisting this movement. It's either going to fly out the top and that's going to fly, or we are going to get dragged down and I'll stop out on the Dow. But can't really tell the direction of this at the moment. Got 50-50 shot going up or down, haven't I? So Nasdaq's testing the lows. See if we get those bought up. If we get those bought up, we end up bullish. I think the Dow will probably have a good chance of a run. Yeah, US dollar's very whippy as well. Look, US dollar's open is all over the place. Look, big candle up there, huge wicks everywhere. It's just this, the whole market is just whipsawing. Oh, blood in the water, as they say today. I'm going to start. What I'm going to do tomorrow, I'm going to close. I'm just going to save my set files for the NAS and for the DAX, so that I've only got one running, and I'm pretty sure this is something to do. This magic number conflict is something to do with having the EA running on two charts at the same time. Although this is not technically active, it's not actively trading. Something is causing this conflict, and I honestly I don't know what it is, because I restart this terminal every day. It's not as if it's left open. Just about to go long again on the Dow. Quite a tight stop on this one, 40 points. Market's calmed down a little bit, so the price action's starting to get a bit shorter. So slightly smaller stop underneath that low. So if we are going to break this high and we are going to get a run out to the highs, I would expect that not to get invalidated. That's going to draw an outside bar if that triggers. And it's either going to go or it's coming down and stopping me out. And if it's going to stop me out, I will be getting out of all of these positions at once. Because this thing's just not interested in any direction at the moment. No. Nasdaq's going out the lows. God, I wish I was watching this in the futures market. There's a serious amount of contracts going, and see how jittery this is. All this today is like flick, 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 flick. It's just so much volume going through, but nobody's actually got any idea which way they want to go at the moment. Just like stop out after stop out. Just get the feeling. You just get the feeling in a minute this thing's just going to go, or it's just going to go. Hopefully it goes up, but it just feels like it's something's getting ready to go, isn't it? Okay, buying up the lows again. We got 10 seconds left on this candle. Lows have been rejected again. Come on, bang. Someone stick a rocket up its backside. Okay, when we hit this high, I'm just going to move my stops up. So I'm going to push all stops up to that level. If we get to that high, obviously, got to get there yet. No guaranteeing that's even going to happen. Just reducing risk. Don't want to take more than like 0.3 loss on it or something. It's too sketchy today. Go on, Dow. What a mess. We'll have a look at the FX market in a minute. I wasn't quite expecting the open to be this protracted, but jeez. Has anybody made any money yet this afternoon? Even the DAX has given up the ghost. Look, DAX is rejected as well. DAX is coming down. What's the S&P up to? Pretty much the same. Aussie dollar yen has hit ADR. The Aussie dollar's come down really fast and hard off of its high. Just moving stops. Moving my stops up. Just reducing risk. We are going at the highs. Wow. If I come out of this with a break even today, I shall be very happy. Just going to bring my TPs down to the high. I can't see us trying to get out anywhere today. It's going back down again. Look, NASDAQ. I'm going to call this a day. I'm not trading this today. It's utter mess. It's probably going to go at some point. But with a day like this, you run the risk of losing 2,000 to 3,000 within an hour, hour and a half, and never actually catching the move because you run out of capital to catch the move with. So if this one stops out, I think I'll probably just call it a day. Can't get any traction in any direction. You're literally just got to be in a candle, out within the candle. If you don't get out within the candle, you can't get anywhere. So it's just not really anything you can trade today. Not at the moment anyway. I mean, it might settle down, but I can't sit here and just hemorrhage cash. I'm going to be a grand down today as it is. So I'm going to leave it if it pulls back down again. Looks like the NASDAQ wants to drop. Dow looks like it wants to pop. NAS looks like it wants to drop. Neither of them have got any idea actually which way they are going. So flip a coin. Look at that. I am part of the lower liquidity at the minute. Wouldn't be surprised if we just take that out and come straight back. I've got 0.75 risk on, which is too much to, you know, I can't risk any more than that today. NASDAQ's pushing now. So that's, well, there goes an NAS, look. That's the 15-minute opening range. NAS is out at 15. That's going to stop out. So that's me done. I'm off. Goodbye. Had enough of that. Right, let's have a look at the FX pairs. So that's 1% loss today. I'm not going to attempt to get into that. So all these ADRs, quickly covered them. There's lots of opportunities on the ADRs. Ooh, what am I doing? Bias. So the yen pairs. All the yen pairs basically are, well, most of the yen pairs, but pretty much all the yen pairs are a bullish bias. Mainly because obviously the interest rate and interest rate divergence, and interest rate change rather, is giving everything yen based basically a +2 because the interest rates aren't changing on the yen. So if you take that out of the equation, we've got COT positioning long on some of these and retail sentiment saying to go long because retail is short. So some of these yens we've got hitting to the downside. So Aussie yen, which is here, is hit to the downside. Bias really sentiment-wise is long on these. They're a messy, just all a mess at the minute. So it's difficult to know what to do with these yens, but everything is kind of pointing slightly bullish on them. So there are opportunities on ADRs here to get in long. This one's just taken out yesterday's, it's not yesterday's low, that's yesterday's low, but that's yesterday's open really. That's yesterday's low as I would class it, but both of these levels equally. And we got that gap. So this is the Monday gap, which it looks like it's coming down into. So once that gap's filled, I think we've got an opportunity to go long on this one. So that's Aussie yen. Euro yen as well. Let's hit to the downside. We're 100 ADR. We're coming down into this propulsion move. So we're likely to find support there at 125 ADR. I like the euro long. So that's a good looking potential opportunity for a long pound pound yen. So euro yen is a buy. COT is on your side on that one as well. The pound yen, that's the only short because the pound is just terrible at the minute. So that one is also extended to the downside. Just had the reversal alert on that one on M15 off of ADR. So there's potential for that to pull back. There's a long way for that to pull back up into the Asian midline, really. So potentially good moves to the upside there. And New Zealand dollar yen as well. That's an ADR hit to the downside. Just coming down into support. So again, another potential long opportunity there on New Zealand dollar yen. Obviously, you are fighting the trend on all of these, but highly likely they're going to pull back. So for a scalp trade up into there, not a bad looking opportunity on all those ADRs. Oh my life, look at this thing. Can't even get out the 15-minute open. Look. What a hideous, hideous session. Kind of looks like you want to short it now, doesn't it? But it's just so whippy. Has anybody got any trades on this? Anybody got any idea where they're going with this yet so far? Should have stuck with sentiment. Look, sentiment's doing well today. I'm going to start trading that live. Chasing again, look, 30 seconds to go. Absolutely no idea where it's going. Pushing up long. I would say the best range to take at the minute is that. On the Dow, NASDAQ, I haven't got a clue. Look at it. Kind of want to short it. Feels short. Hanging in there with a long on the Dow, Frank. Yeah, if you're using a wide stop on it, you're all right. But I did not get in. What was that first rule again? Get in, yeah. Because of the divergence between the DAS and the now before the M5 range closed. Decided to wait and see. Still waiting to see, yeah. Waiting for dollar weakness to go long. What if you just get dollar strength all afternoon, though? The trouble is, this is definitely bearish. Definitely bearish. This is just it's like bull bear. It's just nothing, is there? If you put your stop there and go long now, it's likely just to come down and do that and then sit there and then you'll go long again and it'll just do that. You've literally got to be in, wait out, wait, in, wait, out, in, out. You've got to be in and out on the same candle to make any money on this. Yeah, just hovering around the open basically. It's just unsure, isn't it? Looks like it wants to go long, but I mean, this is if you look at this, if you look at this on the 15-minute chart, what we're doing is a bear flag, a bull flag rather. Yeah, it's a bull flag long. To me, that's what that is to me at the moment. But the thing that's making me think it's not is this bear flag that was forming on the Nasdaq. Either agree or don't agree. I don't care. One of you make your mind up. Which way are you going? This is bullish, look. This is a bull flag. I'm going to go with another buy stop. That's too tight. That's too tight. That's too tight. Just get a quick look at what's going on with the rest of everything. This is all just up and down today as well. I mean, nothing's moved all day on this lot either. I just keep flip-flopping in and out of profit. CAD Swiss is getting close to being able to take one off. Euro Swiss has just hit ADR. Again, Euro Swiss is not a bad looking long. It was. Sentiment's the wrong way now. We got caught on board. Sentiment is totally the opposite direction. I want to be shorting it. I've just put the whoops. Okay. So looking at this now on M15, we've literally bull, bear, indecision, bull. Like it long. Brian, bull, bear, take a pick. Yeah, one or the other. Oh, this is the most frustrating evaluation stage 2 I think I've ever done. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Right, well, those lows have definitely been rejected. Did I end up making any profits on my gold trade? I'm still in it, gold. Still in gold. It's just been flip-flopping around, hasn't gone anywhere. So I'm still in it from the other day. So all we've done is go sideways. And we're still going sideways, so I'm still in it. Waiting for that push up into propulsion. Or that pull back and I will get out with a loss. I'm going to try one more 0.5% on this. Phase 2 would have started much smoother if I'd left gold alone, yeah. Yes. It would have ended up much smoother if I hadn't have traded FOMC. That's where it went wrong. Okay, buy stop above the high. Oh, did you see that? As soon as I put that order in, it went, nope, I'm not letting you in. Literally, the second I pressed the button, it went, nope, not having that. NASDAQ price action is looking a little healthier. The Dow's just decided it doesn't want to. So we're running an inside bar. We've got 20 seconds left. It is not technically an inside bar. We did just break the highs, but in all intents and purposes, the 99% of that bar has been traded inside. So I just think we're, as much as I don't want to get whipsawed to death, it really feels like this is brewing. They are literally holding for something. There's nothing to hold for. We've got Powell speaking later, but there's nothing really to. There's no news to hold on for at the moment. It just feels like this is. We're going to get one of those quick, like 5 minute. That's it. We're done. Sort of moves, and I kind of just want to be on board that if it happens. And it feels like it wants to push. But equally, you know, you need to use a fairly decent sized stop on this. You need to give yourself a good couple of candles of drawdown, breathing room. I witnessed your FOMC, but you came back from it. Yeah, I came back from FOMC very nicely, but yeah, gold. Someone whispered in my ear. It's like those in those horror films. It's like trade gold. What? Who said that? Trade gold. Okay, trade gold. New Zealand dollar yen 125 ADR. Oh, stop putting it on there. It's because I've got my charts are all around the wrong way because I'm trying to watch these two at the same time. I might as well actually put that NASDAQ back over where it lives. New Zealand dollar yen 125 ADR. So we're down at the lows. So we'll see if we can get a liquidity run and a bounce down here. So if you drop down to M5, if you fancy that long, wait for that reverse alert. Really tight reversal alert, look. We put a new low in on that candle. So it's literally going to be a one candle reversal. Wow. Jeez. This is the DAX move this morning, isn't it? Spent the entire session inside that 10-minute opening range that we put in, 15-minute opening range. Just literally spent the entire session in there. And all it's done today is pop down here. It's like something's not right, isn't it? They are just literally stuck holding at the moment. Gold is one smooth talker, yeah. She knows diamonds and gold. But yeah, gold's well and truly stuck at the moment. Totally sideways. I don't need much of a pullback. I mean, I'm within half an ADR of getting out. Literally, from here to there is 92. It's quarter of an ADR is 77. 153 is half an ADR. So I'm within half an ADR. It's just not moving. It's not even going to give me half an ADR. Look. It's just, yep, we are moving 124 today. Half an ADR is 153. So it's giving me just under half of an ADR movement from the high of yesterday. So the low of today is 160. It's just not interested, is it, at the minute? But that's looking really bullish as well, look, on the hourly. Yeah. But, you know, you're probably going to get up to the London high if you're lucky, aren't you? Everything's the same today. It's just something's going on. It's Russia invaded a country or something. You should do a voiceover. Of what? He entered the markets with a view of making millions. What he found was murder. Long or short, new film coming this spring. This is the mother of all flags. It's just not. It's not even flagging now. It's like not even a flag. It hasn't even done 50% of its fiblet. Yes, it has. Just that candle, literally, just. When something goes wrong, has Russia done something? Yeah, something. It's not so much that something's gone wrong. It's like, why is nothing moving? I don't understand. Someone's put the brakes on. It just feels like it wants to pop. It all feels like it wants to pop. If you look at the bull candles we're getting, the bull candles are pretty strong closed candles, aren't they? Every bear candle we're getting has got a whacking great wick on the bottom of it. Yeah, every bear candle's got a big wick. We've got one bear candle there that's a strong close. Everything else is wicky. It's just everything's like it's like we're bouncing on the buyers. Constantly we're bouncing on the bid. And at some point, the offer's just going to give up and it's going to pop. Just what it just feels like. We should be buying this up. You know, if you were trading futures at the moment, you'd literally every time you'd be just buying the low of every candle, building a position ready for that explosion. So it's just what it feels like it wants to do. I'm just going to put a buy stop on the last candle there above that IRB as well. Euro yen 125 ADR. All these yens are pushing very, very hard today. Maybe that's what it is. All the money's going through the yen. Again, wicks, look, so bullish. It's just not able. So this is a 61.8 retracement we've just done. So I'm just going to try and build a position, waiting for that big candle, one big bull candle, kind of like that, with some follow through, and we'll actually get a move on. Long one. Stops down here. So plenty of room. Just want to try and get a move started. Looking for that market structure. It's just you can't even see it on the Nasdaq. It's just you can't see the market structure. It is there, but it's just so much wick in the way. And it's made a new low, so it's actually invalidated the market structure on the Nasdaq. But it's a lot cleaner on the Dow. You can see the move a little cleaner on the Dow. Second long. This will be my last attempt. If this doesn't go, then there's just no point. Euro Swiss looks good for a long. ADR and AWR coming into support. Yep. It's a hell of a push. This euro isn't particularly happy at the moment, or is that Swiss franc strength? It looks like Swiss franc. Yeah, strong Swiss franc. But again, pound Swiss has come down into that area. We were looking at that one earlier, weren't we? But yeah, that looks good for a long. Still coming down quite hard though. CAD Swiss. Oh, should I bank something? There you go. There's Euro Swiss weekly range just hit. First one of the week on a Tuesday. So Euro Swiss is range bound. You've got COT on side, retail offside. So it's really mixed. As you can see, it's just mixed at the minute. Come on, Dow. Oh, painful. Still holding your EU close trade from last week. Feels like you should close. Everything against the US dollar at the minute is, yeah, I mean, euro against the US dollar. Euro is a little bit weaker at the moment than I would expect it to be. But we are still waiting on a little bit of US dollar weakness. But I mean, it's not particularly strong though. You can always gauge the strength of the US dollar by looking at gold. It's not particularly strong. It's just not weak either. It's sitting in limbo. The market's undecided. It's gone short, and now it's like, do we really want to be short? It's everything's like this at the moment, though, isn't it? Especially this lot. Ugliest opening range on the NAS I've seen in my short trading career. Yep, pretty ugly. That's pretty ugly. I have to say it's probably one of the ugliest I've seen for a while. Look at the state of it. These are the days in backtesting where, you know, I've watched the ORB EA running in the backtester. And it's really good to watch it trade and watch it do its thing, because you look at it and you think, no. Why are you still going? Why would you bother keep trying to do this? It's not working. And you would say on days like this, you would go, no, I'm stopping. Like I did today, I've stopped the EA running because it's not right. The EA obviously doesn't know this. So you have to intervene and say, no, you're a computer. You're stupid. I've programmed you to do something, and what I want to happen isn't happening. Stop it. We are contracting, however. So if we can get that high taken out and that high taken out, we've got a run up. But, you know, it's just finding This is all algorithmic. It's just limits triggering at the highs and the lows of everything, and it's just not able to get any traction. It's almost as if they just said, right, algos, you trade today, and they've all gone down the pub, haven't they? They're not interested. Morning, Franco. Got the euro US dollar 2 hours ago. Short, cool. Visualize the trades on the back test, and those small ranges are kind of suspect. Yeah. The small, if you get a small, I've back tested the ORBEA with different opening ranges, and the difference between using an opening range of like where's the opening range gone? There. I back tested opening ranges between 200 and 15. I think it was 1500, or was it 1000? I think I went to 100-point opening ranges, and I found literally no difference in the profitability, because the edge of the EA is not the opening range. It doesn't seem to make any difference. The edge is either you get that sort of day or that sort of day. That sort of day we make money, that sort of day we don't. So that is the edge. So whether you use a range of 200 or 800, it's either going to go or it's not. So it doesn't matter whether you choose that or that, because if it does that at the open and makes an 800 wide range, when it breaks out, it breaks out. If the range was 200, yeah, so it did that at the open and then it broke out, it broke out. Doesn't matter, does it? We're making our money on that. Whether it's done it as a big range or a little range, it's a case of, are we going to trend today? Are we going to put in a bull candle day or a bear candle day, or are we going to put in a rotation day? This is the probably clearest definition of a rotation day you could find. And that's why they call it a rotation. Literally, all that's happening is the algorithms are rotating. Buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling. Speculators step in. If they don't step in, you rotate. The algorithms are constantly running. If no one steps in and presses the 500 lot or 500 contract long button, it doesn't do anything, does it? The algos are literally a tick trading. They're in, out a tick, in a tick, out a tick, in a tick, out a tick, in a tick, out a tick, in a tick. That's what this is. What this movement is. Algos buying here, selling here, selling here. Oh, sorry, yeah, selling here, buying here, selling, buying, selling, buy down here somewhere, buying. Yeah, that's the algorithms moving. And if no one actually steps in and says, right, we've got X contracts to go long with, that will just continue all day. And they will fight each other for ticks. That's what you see in Jigsaw and Bookmap when you're watching the heat maps. You're watching the orders. Literally, the algo's just popping like that. And then you get a big bubble appear where there's a large contract short, and the algos run down, and the big bubble appears the other end. They run up. That's that guy selling there, and that's that guy buying there, making a profit on that space. It's just this market, isn't it? That's what markets do. But at some point, the algos will stop being in control, because someone will upset the algorithm and put a curveball in, and then they'll start flying. They'll start buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling, and they'll keep doing that. Price discovery. And then we'll find an area of balance where the algos will run, and then we'll do a price discovery, and we'll find balance. Right now, it's as balanced as you can get. It's about as painful as you can get. These are the days we need to be delivering the bootcamp live, isn't it? That's the thing that worries me about doing that, because I will be so unfocused on trying to deliver a kind of bit of education, where because this thing, I'll be in trades and I'll need to keep flicking in and out of trades. I'm just not sure it's going to work, but we'll have a go. So I'm too long, so I've got 0.5% risk on down to here. Okay, gold's pushing up, so we've got a weak US dollar, or starting to be weak. Marginally. Have you programmed any EA for someone with the new addition to the site? How do you mean? Have I programmed any EAs for someone with the new addition to the site? I don't know what you mean. You mean the fundamentals? No. No, I don't program EAs for people. I'm building my own, obviously. This one, based on the sentiment. There are sentiment EAs out there already. The sentiment indicators out there already as well. I don't know how they work or what they do, but have I had any takers for EA writing service? Yeah, a couple. Not really. Nothing of any interest that I... No. A couple of people have sent me ideas, but they're based on stuff that I look at and think, well, no. One of them's based on the ADX and MACD. It's the same thing. It's like, well, that's not going to work. But no one sent me any solid strategies at all. The thing you added to your site where you would help people with their own strategy. Oh, that? Yeah, right. No, I haven't yet. Yeah, no. No, the got a strategy, get an EA coded page. No. I've had one person send a form through there and they completely ignored everything. So I emailed them back and said, you know, that bit at the bottom which says what information you need to provide, and there's like 7 tabs of information I need. You've basically said, can I have an indicator that goes long when this happens? So I said, no idea. Yes, you can, but I need to know all of this stuff. Otherwise, I can't build it as a strategy. I haven't heard back from them. I gave up. What I was hoping was people would go, I've got this awesome strategy I've been trading for years, or for a few months, and it looks really good. However, I can't backtest it. That was the whole point, was like, you've got a strategy that you think looks good. This is for backtesting it. Let's build an EA that auto trades it and see if it's got an edge in history. That's what it's for. And if it has, brilliant. Let's build it, share it, and get it making money. I guess people haven't found any strategies that are any good. Or they're saying, you know that EA you built, can you modify it? No, I'm not modifying an existing one unless it's a really good idea, but no one's come up with a really good idea. Or they've come up with someone did come up with a modification for the Price Action Toolkit, this one. But it's something I'd already backtested and excluded because it didn't add an edge in any way, shape, or form, and it was just an overcomplication. Using ATR basically in this, it just didn't make any difference. Because look at the ATR today. I mean, it doesn't make any difference. The ATR really, because your volatility is skewed. It's always skewed by the open. Afternoon, Keisha. Sitting here watching price go up and down basically this afternoon. Getting bored, waiting for something to hopefully move and make me money, or stop me out and put me out of my misery today. I don't really care at the moment which one happens. If I lose 1.5%, I'll get that back tomorrow. But just make your mind up. Do you want to take me out or do you want to go? I really don't care which you do. Just do one of them, please. Put me out of my misery. I'll be watching the USA president. So someone just said USA, so he had a Trump attack. Oh, that's Franco. I'll be watching USA President State of the Union speech with my fingers trembling over the sell button. When's that? When's the State of the Union speech? Do they even put that in the calendar? Is it today or something? Tonight, is it? All right, okay. I can tell you what state the union's in. Confused. Just like the Fed. Just like every central government and every bank at the moment. What was that COVID thing? Why are we bankrupt? Why has nobody got any jobs? Why is inflation going up? Let's put interest rates up. Why is inflation still going up? Hang on. Why is unemployment going down? We put inflation up. Interest rates up. Back to school, everybody. Doesn't matter. The whole everything's in a state of complete confusion and flux. It really doesn't matter what anybody says. All that will happen is if he says something, it will just go, oh. Right. Where are we going now? That's literally what happens on news at the moment. Okay, now the Dow is actually thinking it might want to go long. Look, finally. So that bull flag that turned into a range is potentially turning into an up channel. Oh, what a hideous thing. 9 p.m. New York time. Blimey, that's really late. That's kind of overnight stuff. I'd rather watch my dog's poo dry in the backyard. My dog's poo has probably got, if you basically threw coins at your dog's poo in the backyard, and when you actually get one in there, go and have a look and see if it's a head or a tail, and that's basically the button you want to press later. You got just as much hope of picking the direction of anything right now with a piece of dog poo as you have with a candlestick analysis. We've got a nice 3-bar reversal going in, however. Although that is an IRB and an inside bar, we have just put a high in. And if we close, we've got 2.5 minutes, pretty much 3 minutes left. If we close bullish on this, I would say we are starting to form an upward channel back up to this high, which, to be honest, if I can get to that high, that would probably do me today. I think that's actually quite a long way to go at the moment. So many have retired early. Young guys just don't want to work. Unemployment numbers false. Yeah, that's why we got that move on the US. That was a big shock. The last thing that tends to happen when you put your interest rates up is unemployment comes down. It's usually totally the opposite. Look at this US dollar Swiss. It's on the move. Gold is on the move. So we're pushing higher day on gold. Wouldn't that be a shock if that actually went long? If I actually hit the long button on gold and it goes long, that'd probably be the first time in years. Look at this thing. Dixie's showing weakness on the hour. Yeah, should have a euro US dollar push. And US dollar looking for a nice pullback. This might be why we're seeing this. I mean, does the State of the Union address have that much impact on the foreign exchange markets and in the indices? I don't know. I don't pay any attention to it because it's got nothing to do with fundamentals. What he thinks the State of the Union is irrelevant because it's down to the Fed. So I don't know whether this is maybe related to that. We've got Powell talking later, and they've switched around. Look, Powell was meant to go on at 5 o'clock. Macklin was 5:30. They've switched around. Powell's going on 10 minutes after Macklin now. Wonder why that is. Weird. From where you're from, do you know who Samuel Leach is? No. Never heard of Samuel Leach. Sounds like somebody from the oldie times. Samuel's quite an old name, and they used to use leeches in medicine. That's as much as I know. Don't really want to devolve into politics. 150 euro yen. I didn't look at my CAD Swiss trade, did I? Oh, hello, we're in. Right, we're in the money on the CAD Swiss. Right, I might bank some of this. See, about the only thing I'm going to get today, I think. Yesterday's low is just being swept on the CAD Swiss. We're back in propulsion. We've got very strong potential support coming up here. So I'm going to trail that. I'm going to put an 80-point trailer on it just so that I can bank some cash. Something to put in the bank. And if this flushes, I mean, if it flushes, we're likely to flush down into here. We got this balance area here, which price discovery, return to balance. There's going to be buyers there. Whether or not they get run over or not, I don't know, but there's going to be buyers down here. So I'm just going to put a trailer on it and I get out when I get pushed back. Might tighten that actually to 60. Because we are literally, this is either going to bounce here and start pushing back up into these areas, or it's going to manage to fly through it. So I'm just going to protect it. Oh, Dow, for God's sake. CAD yen, this is really strong yen. So basically everything's moving through the yen today. Nothing is moving anywhere else but the yen at the minute. By the looks of things, yen's just pumping. It's the state of the leadership falling. Chinese balloon drama has hurt him greatly. Did the balloon land on him? I'd imagine if the balloon landed anywhere near Biden, it would blow him over. Poor old Biden. ADR, US dollar yen. So really, really strong yen movement at the minute. Everything's about the yen at the minute. So if you like the yens, yens are all buys, and everything is hitting to the downside. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Thing that it's just troubling. I can't make this yen out at all. Well, that's coming down hard, isn't it? The US dollar. Oh, it's just the yen. Yen's pushing so hard. We're doing another bond sale on the pound. Okay, gold back to break even. So what do I do? Dow's just about to take me out for another 0.5%. So should I get out of gold? I have an opportunity to escape my nemesis. I had an opportunity to escape my nemesis yesterday, and I didn't take it. I'm certainly taking it today. I'm taking that one off. Get out of gold. I know. I totally agree with you, David. If the Dow was rallying, I would say yes. But I'm just about to lose 0.5% on that. It's rallying pretty hard, isn't it? This US dollar's tanking. You know, this is the other thing that confuses. US dollar's coming down, right? Indices should be pumping. How can we be flagging on the indices when the US dollar's rallying? Nothing is actually lined up at the minute. Everything is just in a state of confusion everywhere at the moment. So we're basically back down at the lows, buying the lows back up again. So that's what, 3, that's 500, that's 0.5%. Okay, so we've just taken out the highs there. If we break yesterday's high and hold, there's a good probability that we're going to come and test this propulsion gap. So I'm going to hang on to it for a minute. I am getting out here anyway, just under yesterday's high, in case we get limit orders triggering at the highs. So I'm just going to watch the highs and just see what happens at the highs. If we see a big limit order trigger and we get a bear candle going in there, then I will probably shut the whole lot and just get out and be done, because it's gold and it doesn't like me. But if it does break that high and hold that high, I think we've got a good chance of a rally starting. So the US dollar is very weak at the moment. That also gives a potential opportunity for the Dow to rally, although it doesn't seem to be listening. You're not watching this. Look over here. That is going up because the US is going down, which means you need to go up. Okay. Comprende? Use the force. I'd rather use a rocket. I vote exit. Yeah. What's that? Something's just triggered. That was my TP. Oh, was that a sell exit on gold? No, that was CAD Swiss. I'm out of CAD Swiss. So bank one CAD Swiss. So we're pulling back. I've still got this one on short down here. So obviously I will get into another short as soon as we get that push back down. I'm going to regret this, aren't I? I'm so going to regret this. You watch him come tumbling down. What would your drawdown look like if you do exit? Well, it'd be the same, wouldn't it? My drawdown would be the same because my drawdown on this was break even, so therefore it would be that. Because if I close all of that out, that will just go back to zero. That will stay as it is. If I close out that one, which will be 0.25%, that will just go up to 2.25%. So whatever I close here will be added onto my drawdown, obviously. So it only takes me up to 2.25% DD, so it's not an issue. So we're basically creating a propulsion gap on top of a propulsion gap. So this is the propulsion gap of that breakout. So a retest of that is on the cards. I'm going to do my hold. Sell. There we go. Oh, this is comical today, isn't it? Anyway, I'm just going to sit here and watch this Dow all afternoon until I go spinning in an hour. And then I'll come back and I'll see if we're still in that trade or not. Okay, Dow's pushing back up into this propulsion gap. If you can call it a propulsion gap caused by these sellers, if you can call them sellers, who just basically wanted to come down and take all the liquidity at the low and push back up again. So I am now a little bit further away from my entry, but holding that gold. He's break even to be the same amount. Yeah, so David, you answered your own question, yeah. Euro pound as well. That's very schizophrenic at the moment. I get the feeling we might come back down and retest this level now. Euro's a little bit weaker today than I was expecting it to be. I was expecting a push up to the highs today, but we didn't get it. So we'll see. But sentiment is all on side for that Euro pound. Yeah, got cot long. The market is short. So they're enticing more shorts in at the moment. Everybody's getting in short. Liquidity's sitting there. And obviously liquidity sitting there from Friday. So everybody that's entered short this week is all up there.
Power to the players. Rated M for mature.
GameStop. I really wish I'd have been on GameStop. Okay, there we go, Dow. Looks like we just needed a bit more of a pullback. Build up some steam. There we go. Third long. That's what I was waiting for. Finally. There goes the NAS. Okay, so we're running up into, so there goes the move, straight up into resistance. There come the sellers. So that's, that I'd be very happy. I'm going to take one off there if I can get there. Right, what's gold doing? So there's a propulsion gap, another propulsion gap gone in on gold, although that is obviously just a long move. So you kind of ignore that one. That's really where the move started. There we go. Closing one. Move stops up. Kind of happy with my TPs where they are on that. If we, I mean, you know, if we can break this high, and we can get through that resistance, I don't hold up much hope for anything much more than that today. If it could possibly even get anywhere near yesterday's high, ADR, just not going to happen today, is it? We're closer to ADR low, so that's a nice bull run. We should get some bulls coming on board now. So that is not algorithmic. That is one of the institutions has started to move. We're going to get a propulsion gap forming from there, depending on where this candle ends. So at the moment, we're going to get a propulsion gap there. And it's whether or not we can get a move to the upside before they come back into this area. Or we're going to come back and test this wick, in which case I'm going to stop out, which I don't really want to do. But in fact, what I'm going to do is just move my stop down, because if we do come back and test that wick, I don't want to get stopped out on that wick. Because if we're not going to form a propulsion gap, you've got to think that's what we've got to do to stop a propulsion gap forming. At the moment, we're going to form a propulsion gap there. However, we still haven't broken the high. So this propulsion gap here is actually just part of this range. It's not actually a legitimate propulsion gap until we break this high. I'd much rather see a big candle go in there than that's the one I would class as a proper propulsion gap because we've broken out the range. Got to do it yet. Gold. Hold. Fed's Powell speaking 12:30 New York. That's changed. He's not speaking at 12:30 now. He's speaking at 12:40. He was due to speak. Oh, sorry, no. Are they? Where'd you get that from? So basically, we've got Powell speaking. This has been changed to 5:40. It was 5 o'clock UK time, which is 5 hours. So lunchtime, yeah. So it was 12. If they've put him down as 12:30 now, that's when Macklem's speaking. So I guess these guys are going to speak around about the same time. I suspect they're probably sitting on a panel and they're going to fire questions at the panel. And these guys are all in the panel. So somewhere around about the 5:30-ish is where you want to be watching. Yeah, look, they've got him down as 5 here as well. I don't know why Forex Factory have decided to change it, but they have. I don't know who's up to date and who's not. Initial release time was shifted 40 minutes later due to source rescheduling. There you go. So they're up. Forex Factory are actually on the case. Okay. Gold. Oh, gold. I'm going to break even that one. So I've got two positions really close to each other here. Just in case. Come on, DAX. Let's get a breakout of these highs. Going to run up. So if we do manage to run these highs today, that will bank me 1%, which will put me back up to basically 0.5% up on the day, which is where I started this session. Funnily enough, it's been quite tricky to make money. Hopefully we get a run on the Dow. It's 4:15. If anybody's got any other pairs they want to look at, let me know. Should have got out of gold. Braveheart, you're useless. You didn't help at all.
Do you enjoy trading?
Oh, it's Nirav, look.
Well, that is what you're doing if you're using plain candlestick charts with.
Okay, so Nirav says, don't use candlestick charts. Use my charts. What are my charts? My charts are candlestick charts. It's just that I've got numbers inside of my candlestick charts. Okay, Nirav.
What professional traders such as myself are using to determine.
God. Use my charts. Oh, hang on. Let me turn myself down. I'm going to start repeating myself. That'll be good. That'll be bad. Hate that guy. He's not that bad. I've done Nirav's course. It doesn't teach. Well, it didn't teach me anything, but it's it's the same stuff. It's candlesticks. It's just candlesticks and candlesticks. It's actually not, to be fair. It's a lot about market profile, but he uses an advanced market profile splicing system where you've got to use Sierra charts, which is going to cost you a fortune. And then you need to, basically the way that he teaches is you get a volume profile from a day, which is either a B, a P, or a B, a capital P, a capital B, or a lowercase b. And then you get another one like that. You splice these two together and you come up with something like that. Yeah, which gives you a multi-day volume weighted average price, which you focus on. The trouble with the whole course is how you splice these together, and which of them you splice together will give you a completely different view to everybody else. Therefore, it is just discretionary trading. Give that to 10 people, you're going to get 10 totally different results. And the fact that he publishes a P&L in Forex where you can't trade volume profile with Forex because there's no centralized exchange, again, I just don't get it. Anybody selling you the secret sauce from a bank? Just, there isn't any. If there was a secret sauce in a bank, do you think the bank would let it out? Speaking of letting it out, have you heard Yandex's algorithm has been leaked? The magic sauce of Yandex. So we're retesting propulsion gap. So looking basically for buyers to step in this whole zone here, back down to this wick. So I just want to see constant rejection. If we put a big bear candle into it, I want to see either a bull candle coming out, or I want to see some kind of wick rejection. So I want to see this getting bought up exactly like that. I just want to see that kind of price action. Yeah, bulls have started to move. We want the bulls to add. Every single bear that keeps going at it is going to have a limit stop at the top. As soon as we pop that, we'll break. So I'm just looking for that continuation to keep happening, basically, just to show that the buyers are in control at the minute, because at the moment they've been stomped on by the sellers in that propulsion gap there. So the sellers that started that move are adding into their sells. So at the moment we've got now a load of buyers buying and a load of sellers selling. So this is your battleground. This is Braveheart saying hold. This is the other guys running at me, a horse going, ah, and one of them is going to win. Your job, should you choose to accept it, is to decide which way to go. Your mission. He drives me nuts. Use my charts, blah, blah. Yeah. Exactly. Use my charts. Yeah. Every retail trader is using candlesticks. Use footprint charts, because these are more advanced candlesticks. They're candlesticks, for God's sake. Candlestick's a candlestick at the end of the day. It is a candle. All a candlestick is a representation of price over time. All a footprint chart is a representation of price over time with the contracts entered at each level, which gives you another thing to confuse you, because you get something lit up in the middle there that is like, that's where most of the contracts happened in this candlestick. Really? How does that help? Sorry. When it gets back to there, there's more chance of what? Either that happening or that happening. I know that. Doesn't help me any way, shape or form. Didn't help me anyway, but... Franco, hear about NASA refund because of computing glitch. NASDAQ refund because of computing glitch. No, I didn't. Do you trade Tesla? Nope, don't trade stocks. Don't need to trade stocks. If I want to trade stocks, if I want to trade Tesla, I trade the NASDAQ, because Tesla makes up 10% of the NASDAQ's movement. So if Tesla's going up, NASDAQ's going up. I used to trade stocks, but there's just too many of them. It's overcomplicated, I think. Gold is running in tandem with the dollar index, both dumping. Hopefully that is the pullback. You've got a micro propulsion gap there, look, about a 1 tick wide. NASDAQ's stuck up at these highs, but we are holding that propulsion on the NASDAQ, which is good news. Dow is coming much deeper into it, though. He steals Tesla batteries, side hustle. Bet they're worth a few bob. Afternoon, Luke. A bit late, thanks to South Africa running out of electricity. How can a country run out of electricity? Well, that's not good, is it? What's happened? Putin cut off your gas supply for your power stations? That man's got far too much control. Okay, so looking for gold basically to regain that level. If we can get back above there, I think we've got a really good chance of a little bit of a pop on this. We're going to need some US dollar weakness to continue, though, and it is obviously very weak at the minute. So it's probably going to want to pull back a little bit. Oil's having a nice rally today as well. And New Zealand is in profit. So I really thought that was going to be it. I thought we were going to get a nice, good 2-3 bar run out of that. We didn't. All the stress today will be taken out at spinning. Yep, and I've got my Darth Vader on my desk, and I'm pulling his legs off. I've got a stretched Darth Vader, for those that don't know what I'm talking about. I'm pulling my Darth Vader off, his legs and his arms. Stretch Armstrong version of Darth Vader, that is. Stress toy. Although I found out his helmet is actually not made of rubber because I hit myself on the head with it, and it's quite hard. 30 seconds left on this Dow candle. So another bear. It's third in a row. So basically you can recreate the end of Return of the Jedi on a daily basis, yeah. Sorry about bad report. It's a credit for A-tier traders. What? What's that mean? Personal question. How come you've never shown us your face? Are you an alien? Yes. I don't know. I haven't got a camera, is the honest answer. I just never had really seen the need. I pull funny faces all the time, so I don't know. I say the other day, there's a lot of people out there that stream on YouTube, and they obviously show their faces, and that's fine. There's a lot of people that don't. And there's guys out there that have a panda avatar that talks for them and stuff like that. I don't think it really adds much to it. If you're seeing me on the screen in the corner or not, I don't think it makes much difference. Would you trust me more if you saw my face? Does it make any difference whether I've got a big nose, a small nose, grey hair, black hair, whether I'm 50, which I am ish, or 30 or 20 makes a big difference. If I'm 20 years old, you don't want to listen to a bloody word I'm saying, because I don't know anything about trading, do I? I've only been out of college for 2 years. Bloomberg said it's sorry about bad report. It's a credit for A-tier traders. So that's what Bloomberg said. An accounting thing to do with that NASDAQ thing. I don't pay any attention to Bloomberg. Should do, really. I could probably get Bloomberg on here. I have Bloomberg currencies. presume Bloomberg stocks will probably give you the index, won't they? Let's try that. I just don't want to get bombarded with stock news because doesn't really bother me. Okay, Dow's pulling back out of the propulsion gap. So hopefully we're going to get a run on the highs and get that move started now. Fingers crossed. Nasdaq's running the highs of the day. So we've got a load of liquidity sitting here. So any short orders basically will puke and go long. We should get a run up to yesterday's high on the Nasdaq if we can break that level. I say that's what would normally happen, but obviously today there's just no volume, is there? So we may not even find there's a lot of limits sitting there. Watch it and see what happens. If there is a load of limits sitting there, we'll get a flush and a flurry and a pop, and then probably a retracement. Free Bloomberg feed on YouTube. Yeah, I've watched Bloomberg. I've got Bloomberg on my TV. I used to have a TV in my office in the corner where I was watching Bloomberg, and I had other financial channels I used to flick through. The problem with that is I found I would end up sitting there watching telly and being influenced by what I was seeing on Bloomberg. And if you're influenced by talking heads, like the Jim Cramers and the crazy people on the TV that go, buy this stock's going mental. It's like you get influenced by them and it influences your trading decisions, and they know nothing. They haven't got a clue if price is going up or down. I watched the Bloomberg Market Wrap because that's quite good. You have some good hedge funds and investment professionals on there that actually know what they're talking about, and they all talk about dollar averaging, funnily enough. That sort of stuff. Because that's what they do. Not able to get through at the minute. The Jim Cramer Inverse Index is doing amazingly well. I just want Cramer's effects board, yeah. Is there an inverse index for Jim Cramer, is there? Oh, yeah, whatever. Go away. I don't want to do that. No, I can't get rid of that then. Right, not going to your website. No, it wasn't. Yeah. Jim Cramer warns that growth stocks could see more horror after CPI data release. Up 7%. Explain why his opportunities market going into November collapse. Yeah. It's good. You should watch him and just do the opposite. Jim Cramer ETF. Is there actually an ETF you can plot? That would be interesting. God. We track Jim Cramer so you can do the opposite. Yeah. Okay, NASDAQ. Thinking about it. Everyone's, they're eating up. There we go. There's the pop. Okay, so all the sellers have just puked. Opens up the door for the longs. So we've got movement potential up to yesterday's high, which, let's face it, isn't much. So other than that, on the NASDAQ, if we breach yesterday's high, we're off. So watch this level. If we can get a similar sort of movement, yeah. So we need to see the short sellers at yesterday's high puke and pop. Once they've popped, they will flip long, and then we'll get a rally. There we go. There's the Dow doing the same. So we just popped. All these short sellers here just puked their orders. They're out. They're stopped out. They're dead. They'll be thinking about getting in on the pullbacks now. So that opens up the doors for longs. But with the volatility, the volume we've got today, I'm not even sure there's going to be enough participants on board to get it moving, but we'll see. But yeah, certainly a long now. Just approaching yesterday's high on the NAS. So we'll see if we get another pop through the highs or whether we get a load of limit orders trigger. There's going to be a load of limit orders sitting here ready to go short. It's whether or not we've got enough on board to run them over or not. Dow is certainly able to get that move. What's gold doing? There we go. Gold's popping back up again. So I'm going to TP on one gold. That looks like it's going to test the highs again. So just watch this line. Okay, so we're back up with these highs again. So the strength of movement to get ourselves up to there by these buyers, unlikely to see a lot of buying left. So highly likely we're going to pull back. Exactly the same story as before. That wick and that wick will form a propulsion gap. So we need to see the buyers fill this, keep it strong. When this candle closes on M15, we'll get the same thing. If we look at it on M5, got a propulsion gap forming here. So we want to see them defending this area. If we pull back, obviously. I mean, if they've got enough strength, fantastic. But if not, we want to see this area hold. Resistance becomes support. In the case of the NASDAQ. What's time? 25 to 5. Still on. Surprised people are still here. 35. Well done for hanging around. It's been an entertaining session in watching paint dry, waiting, patience. Good lesson in patience this afternoon. I've been sitting here for 2 hours waiting. Nobody sold this as an exciting job, did they? How's the sentiment trades getting on? Pulling back. Again, these aren't being traded for profit. They're just being traded for functionality testing. So hence why I've got no TPs on anything, because I'm wanting to make sure it gets in properly. That's all I'm testing at the minute. What others have we got? Had Swiss. Oh, hold on. 93.7, 92.8. That's changed ever so slightly since the EA updated, but So we're looking for shorts. So that won't trade until we get there. So that's not going to be an entry today. Pound Swiss. Again, that'll be looking for a short, not until there. So again, that's not going to get in. Euro, pound, and Swiss yen. Okay, so euro pound, if this breaks back above there, that will get me into a long because the market is short, so it will go long. So just verifying basically it's doing what it should be doing. Oh, my heart is in my mouth. Daily is great. Love FX. It's such an exciting job watching black and green and red and green sticks being drawn on a chart. We went out on a on a night out recently, my wife and I, with a load of our friends from spinning, and my spinning instructor asked me, "So what do you do?" And I had to sit there and think, "How do I explain this?" And I ended up saying something like, "It's complicated," which sounds really patronizing. But how do you explain this? What do you do? I make money out of the markets moving up and down. Oh, you work for a stockbroker? No. Right, here we go. I watch these little candlesticks being painted up and down. Sometimes I get long wicks to the upside and I hit the short button. Sometimes I get long wicks to the downside and I hit the long button. Then we got this thing called market structure. Tell you what, go to my website, watch this for 5 hours. Oh no, don't worry. Go and buy me another cocktail. Basically how the conversation goes. How do you explain it? Without sounding ridiculously boring. That's the problem, isn't it? David, just entertaining listening to you say that's my last NAS trade of the day because I'm fed up with it. And then taking just one more. Yeah. The trouble is, when you see days like this, I think, I don't know, it's obviously conspiracy theories all aside, but you have to think the market knows what the market knows and what it can do, what it's capable of doing, how far it can move in a day. When it sits here hoovering orders, all it's doing is accumulating a position. Once it's accumulated that position with a bias, you get the explosive move. It's whether or not you can sit through that and survive that. Break even on that. I knew this was coming. I just didn't know which direction. I had an inkling, and that really is all that gave me the inkling. And it just, I said earlier, it feels long. You get a feeling after you've watched this for so many years. You just get a feeling that you can't explain, that it just feels long. And what tends to happen is if you feel it's long and it proves you wrong over and over again, you just go, right, okay, well, I was wrong. But when it feels long and it goes long and you see that happening, it's a kind of confirmation that, yeah, right, okay, I was right. We're going long. And then you're just looking for the normal breaks to say, right, yeah, I should add here really, but I'm not going to because I've got 2 on already and it's just too slow today. But you just get a feeling for it. That's why I said, oh, I'm out. I've had enough. And then I was watching it on my other monitor thinking, that's long. Just get a feeling. That's why I got into this position, because the NASDAQ looked like it wanted to go. Yeah, and that really was the nail in the coffin for me. The fact that it couldn't break that low. If the NASDAQ was going to go, it was going to go. It didn't. It couldn't manage it. So that was right. That's a long. Then we got the market reversal alert. We got the structure break. We got the retest. and then it all comes together. But you've got to sit through this, because what this is an accumulation. It's an accumulation of orders, and they will have bought and sold and bought and sold and bought and sold, and they will have a net long or a net short balance, meaning that the next move they make, that will make the money. But you've no idea in that accumulation which way they've accumulated. You just know it's coming, and that's why symmetrical triangle breaks work. Symmetrical triangles are contractions. Contractions are accumulations ready for the explosive move, which is the profit take move, and then you get the continuation off the back of it. We're rejecting up here. How's your 401k trade going? Nope, I'm not trading that anymore at the moment. I haven't got any. 401k is an American thing. It's my pension fund, which is the same thing, isn't it? But that's on hold at the minute. Has been on hold all year. I only run that account in a bull market, and I run Larry Williams's smash bar strategy in bull markets on the S&P, which is basically what Warren Buffett does. I just obviously don't have Warren Buffett's money, but you just take smash bar trades in line with, well, it's just up. Yeah, the stock market, the S&P is designed, manufactured to go long, which is why X number of years out of Y, it makes money. It's manufactured to go long. Since COVID, we had the bull run of all bull runs, which is why we're in this mess, because the economy was closed, everyone was losing money, and yet the stock market was going up. Go figure. How can that be sustained? It can't. That's why we're here, because everybody made a load of money and now everyone's paying the price. But I want to see, and I'm pretty much there, I'm almost ready to turn it back on. I want to see this market structure confirmed, and I want to get back into the green. Once we're back in the green, which we are, but you know that we didn't manage to get that new high. That I was toying with the idea there, but we weren't bullish enough. Now I think we are, and the fact that the US dollar is struggling so much to go long, and we've got interest rates which potentially might be approaching peaks. I think the market might be able to rally from here, but I'm still not sure. But all I do is literally, when we get back down to the 24, I start buying pullbacks. And sometimes it's even above the 24. So when we get close below, buy it. Literally just buy it as it's coming down. If you get a down day, you buy it. If you get a down day, you buy it. You get a down day, you buy it. You just keep adding on down days until you get that. So all you're doing is you're buying, 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 exit. Buying, exit. Buying, exit. And you just keep doing it. Every time it smashes through that low, you buy it. Because that's what the S&P does. It's manufactured to go long. And it will do that all the time in a bull market, which it's in 90% of the time, it's in a bull market. So all you do is every down day, you buy it. And you keep buying it, and you get out when you're in profit. And you wait for the next down day, you buy it. That's basically Larry Williams' strategy. Short-term secrets to long-term, long-term secrets to short-term trading. That's it. Still works today. But you've got to be in a bull market. Doesn't work in a bear market. Bear markets are volatile. Look at the size of the candlesticks and the movements in the bear market, and look at the size of the candlesticks in the bull market. It does not work in this condition. And again, I'm waiting for this to contract. I'm waiting for the ADR to drop down to normal levels. And that will tell me that we're getting back into a bull market. We were getting close to it here, but then we had some stupid big moves going in again. And you always will when interest rates are going up, because the market doesn't like it. It's uncertainty. Inflation, interest rates, unemployment, GDP, when they are at extremes, it creates uncertainty, which creates volatility, which creates huge moves, which creates bear markets. When everything's going normally, inflation's under control, we don't have to increase interest rates, we've got stability everywhere, everything contracts and becomes very, very rhythmic and easy. Market structure in a bull market on the S&P is like reading a book. It's easy. But it's not at the moment. I made a loss. with the S&P, that strategy, and this is what was taught to me by one of my mentors, your last trade is a loss. So you buy again, you lose. Stop. We're in a bear market. Other than that, you just keep doing that. And that's, if you were here last year, I'm not sure anybody was, some of you may have been, but that's where I said, I'm turning the EA off. We break that 200, I'm out. I'm stopping. It's a long only strategy. Does not work in a bear market. We're struggling up here. I usually gauge that conversation by how much their head tilts when I try to explain the market. Yeah, I know. I was sitting down with coffee with my spin crowd the other day as well, and they started talking about how much their bills have gone up, and I said, yeah, well, oil prices are coming again. It's going to take 2 or 3 months for that to filter through, but we're in a bear market. As long as that's happening, inflation is going to go up and interest rates are going to rise. And they all looked at me. I could see, you get that, what the hell did he just say? And I was like, shut it on coffee. You really can't explain this sort of stuff to people because they just, normal human beings don't need to know all this crap, do they? Why is my food bills going up? Do you want the long answer or the short answer? Right. Short answer, COVID screwed the economy. The bank's trying to get us out of it. All right. Long answer, sit down, get yourself a cup of tea. In fact, brew yourself a pot. Don't need to know it. And you just sound boring. Really. You connected the dots well. Learn a great deal listening to, yeah. You learn by doing in this game. Right, so I'm back to break even pretty much for the day. So we've got this buffer, basically, this propulsion gap at the moment, which is 500. So I'm trailing 600. So I'm going to leave that trailer on. Should I close on? Yeah, I'm going to close on tick. So I'm just going to let this trail, basically. We're running into this accumulation at the minute. So this is a previous support resistance. So bounced off of there, pushed, hit it. So that's a strong level, which we're hitting again. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to close one, and I'm going to break even the second. So that's a no risk trade. So I'm going to see if I can get 0.5% out of that on a trailer. See if we can run up to that level. Might as well bank a bit more. 0.3 down on the day. I could go break even with it, shutting out some gold and some pound New Zealand, but I'd rather just wait and see what happens with that one. Gold, I'm going to hang on to. I'm going to leave it for an hour. I'm going spinning in a minute. So I'm going to leave this gold for an hour. I'm hoping when I get back, we will have just taken out that TP. So either tapped into limits there or broken it. If we've broken it, fine, we've got a good run ahead of us. If we've tapped into it, I'm going to get out of that, transfer that down to there, and then I'll make a decision on it later. It's not going to go, where can it go in an hour that's really going to hurt me? If it puts in a massive bearish engulfing, I'm only going to go 0.5% in drawdown on it. So it's not the end of the world. I'd rather have a go at letting that run. We've got this huge propulsion gap to aim for. There's nothing but selling all day on Friday. And we're again, Same thing as the Dow we've been watching today. We're sitting and accumulating today. We're waiting for the market to get its move done. 5 o'clock, in about half an hour, we've got the talking heads coming out. Ceiling for remuneration, Eurozone government deposits. ESTR minus 20 basis points. That one's a bit above my economics, but I don't know what that is. It's red news. Well, let's see if it's affected the euro. Doesn't really seem to have batted much of an eyelid. A little bit more bullish since that news came out. But we've got the news coming up. The talking heads coming up at 5:30. So by the time I get back from my class, we will have some movement or not on the US dollar. So either that will have gone like that or like that. I don't know, one or the other. But either way, I'm not sitting in much drawdown. So, right, I'll call it a day there. New York lunch sweep. Yep, could be. If you believe in that sort of thing. I don't know whether the markets do go quiet at lunchtime, obviously. But lunchtime in New York is when London is wrapping up. So London puts in the volatility at that time as well. So I think a lot of these things, these theories of certain things happening at certain times of day, are just coincidental, because there's stuff going on around the world all the time. But hopefully what we will get is an accumulation. So there you go. There's that resistance playing now. Limit orders triggering. So we're looking basically for a bounce back. Hopefully we don't come too deep. If we come deep, I'm going to stop out break even. But well, it's a break even. I'm not going to lose any money, am I? Right, I'll leave it there, guys. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 7:50, same time as usual for the DAX session. Hopefully we get some movement tomorrow morning. That would be nice. Other than that, back tomorrow afternoon, obviously, for New York again. Today they eat pastrami sandwiches at desks. Yeah, probably today they're too scared to leave their desk because they're all like me, sitting in a trade going, Jesus, is this thing ever going to get anywhere? They're all sitting there waiting for Powell. They'll all be sitting there waiting for Powell, eating their sandwiches, hanging on every word, and then realizing what he said was just a load of rubbish, and the market's going to do what it's going to do anyway. So, but he might come out. You never know. He might come out and say something super impactful, and if he does, fantastic. I just hope he says something really, really, really bearish. So gold does that. We'll see. Right, I'll be back tomorrow morning, same time, 7:50 as usual, for the DAX session. We'll see how we get on tomorrow. I'm hoping I'm going to pass this evaluation this week, but it's like pulling teeth at the minute. So fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. Otherwise, yeah, same old, same old. All right, so I'll see you guys in the morning. Anything you need, let me know. I'll be in the Telegram group, and hopefully you have a profitable afternoon. See you tomorrow.